What is up, fellas? Lady fellas. Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We got some more news, a little more news for Infinite Ignition? Yeah, Infinite Ignition, Infinity Chasers. God, jeez. Deck build. I saw DB and I was like, Dark Bible, Ignis, Challenger. No, it's deck build pack, Infinity Chasers. Jeez. We got new trap cards for Infinite Ignitions. We just got all the rest of the Witchcrafts. We already have all the Evil Eye cards. We're just waiting on Infinite Ignition now and figuring out what the reprints are going to be for the set. So let's look at this. We have Spin Turn, which is a normal trap card. This card says two effects. Has two different effects. You can activate one on activation and resolve it. There you go. First effect says, target one of your attack position, Earth, Machine, XYZ monsters, and one monster your opponent controls. Change the battle position of your monster, and if you do, change that, or destroy that opponent's monster. So change your position, just pop a card. Okay, not bad, not great, I would say. Second effect says, target one of your defense position Earth XYZ monsters, Earth Machine XYZ monsters, and one spell and trap card your opponent controls. Change the battle position of your monster, and if you do, destroy that opponent's card. So I like that it's either. I mean, if I'm curious because we're not really sure yet. How easy is it? Like, do we have one card plays that just kind of guarantee we're going into an XYZ every single turn? Because if so, I think this card's fine because it's just a pop, anything, pop anything, and all of them seem to have pretty good stats. So like changing the battle positions, I don't think will be that big of a deal. It's okay. I mean, it's a trap. If it was a quick play spell, I'd like it so much more. This would be so much more interesting to me if this was a quick play spell, but I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great. It just depends how easy. Like, if we've just got one card, combos left and right, that just one card in the deck, any monster in the deck gets you into an XYZ, then we're looking at something, but we'll see if we get there. But not bad, not great. I also heard we got some stuff for the Endymion structure deck coming up. Couple more cards. Oh god, we got a lot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So three spells plus 3 monsters. So let's check these out. Our first monster here is Empress of Endymion, which is a level 7 light spellcaster. It's a pendulum. Of course, that's what this set is based around. I'm not the biggest fan of the pendulum archetype. It seems like every kind of pendulum deck is a little too combo-y for me. I'm more of a stun player, but I do think they're cool. I did have a period where I contemplated going after pendulum magicians, but decided against it ultimately. Anyway, as far as Empress of Endymion, 1850 attack, 2700 defense, so pretty big booty. With a scale 2, that's a pretty nice low scale. I like that. Pendulum effects. Each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card when that card resolves. Okay. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card to special summon both this card from your Pendulum Zone and one monster from your hand that you can place a spell counter on. And if you do, place one spell counter on each of those 2 monsters. Whoa! That's so good. I feel like that's really good. Like, assuming we're playing a bunch of stuff, and we're already probably playing like the Mythical Beast engine. We're probably playing Master Cerberus and Jackal and maybe Basilisk. I don't know how good the other ones are. I know they deal with spell counters, but your deck, if you're playing these cards, you're probably filled with a bunch of cards in your deck that play spell counters. Plus, like, Electromite can get you almost whatever you want to your hand somewhere or another. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Monster effect, though. You can special summon Empress of Endymion only once per turn. I like that. So you cannot just super loop this card a bunch, which is good. If this card is special summoned, you can target one other card you control with a spell counter, and one card your opponent controls. Return both those targets to the hands, even if the first target no longer has any spell counters. Dang. Then place onto this card the spell counters that were on the card returned to field to the hand. Dang. So this card is pretty dang good, I feel like. So, like, it summons itself out of the scale if you're able to get the 3 spell counters, and then it bounces one monster your opponent controls and your one back to the hand to use again. And if you haven't pen summoned yet, you're just going to pen summon again that card out, or maybe because you took this out of the scale, you want to use that card back in the scale, but you still got a free bounce out of it. It's pretty good. Also, when this card with a spell counter is destroyed by battle, you can add one Endymion card from your deck to your hand. and a search. It's destruction by battle, but nothing crazy. The other effects are still pretty good, so I'm not worried about that. This guy looks dope. Magister of Endymion, a level 3 Earth spellcaster, 1500, 900. Pendulum skill 8, so a nice high scale. Dang, these are so... Oh no. Okay, pendulum effects. Each time a spell card is activated, place a counter on this card when it resolves. Ugh. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card to special summon both this card from your pendulum zone and 1 monster from your face-up extra deck that you can place a spell counter on. And if you do, place a spell counter on both of those monsters. Dang. With Electromite? That's insane. Okay. That's pretty good. Jeez. When this card declares an attack, you can place 1 spell counter on this card. Once per opponent's turn. Quick effect. Remove 3 spell counters from your field, anywhere on the field, to special summon 1 monster from your deck that you can place a spell counter on. Yay, dude. Wait. When this card is special summoned, target one other card you control with a spell counter and 1 card your opponent controls and return them both to the hand. So this literally could be a quick effect to just bounce, more or less. This could just be a quick effect on your opponent's turn to bounce. Dang. Oh, man. Alright, number 3. If this card in a monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, then place spell counters on this card equal to the spell counters that were on it. So then when this card dies, you just put it back in your pendulum zone. Like, no biggie. I'll just take it as a scale. And a high scale. It's a pretty high scale. She's level 7. She fits in this. Dang, yo. Alright. Let's keep going. We have Servant of Endymion, a level 3 wind spellcaster with another low scale 2. So we'd like to see. She's level 3. Each time a spell card is activated, place a spell counter on this card. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card to special summon both this card from your pendulum zone and 1 monster from your deck with 1,000 or more attack that you can place a spell counter on. And if you do, place 1 spell counter on both. Oh my god. These cards feel so good. Why is it 1,000 or more attack? Why would it not be 1,000 or less? What are you doing, Konami? This seems busted to me. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't understand, because pendulums can get a little intricate and a little kind of combo-y, and I may not see all the combos, and maybe they're not quite as good as they're coming off to me, but these seems pretty busted. Alright, the monster effects, though. You can only special summon this card once per turn. I like that. This card can attack directly while it has spell counters. Okay, nothing crazy, only 900 attack. Once per turn, once per opponent's turn, quick effect. Yikes. You can discard 1 card, any 1 card, to place 1 spell counter on this card and all other cards your opponent that you control that you can place a spell counter on. Okay, that's not crazy. I thought that was going to be something crazy. Definitely not as crazy as Magister here. But, okay, spread the counters. That's pretty good. And then if this card in Monster Zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone, then place spell counters on this card equal to the amount that were on it prior. Okay. Not bad. I do like that they float into scales. That's a cool effect. I always thought that should be a part of a couple pendulum builds, because if you get removed, your opponent can mass remove you. It can be really tough to recover from that if you can't reset up your scales. But these guys go right into your scales, and they're good scales too, 8 and 2. So they're pretty cool. I like that. All right, now we move into the spells. We have Spell Power Control. It's a hard once per turn. Add 1 Endymion card from your deck to your hand. Then place as many spell counters as possible on cards you control that you can place spell counters on, but not more spell counters than the total number of spell power graphs and spell power controls on your field and in your graveyard. I know it's a mouthful. So pretty much most important thing, add an Endymion card from deck to hand. That's really good, right? These are Endymion cards. Yep. Endymion, Endymion, Endymion. So you just grab, so this is really nice just for at least keeping consistency with making sure you have the scales you need. That's pretty cool. Plus, then you place spell counters on cards on the field equal to the number of spell power graphs and this card, other copies of this card on the field or in the graveyard. Okay. That's cool. I like that. God, this deck seems like usually the main problem we've seen with like decks that deal with spell counters is you just struggle to get spell counters out. But this deck seems like it's so easy to just get a plethora of spell counters out on the field. But we'll see. All right, then we have Endymion Lab. So this card searches any Endymion card. So this searches this as well. This card's name becomes Magical Citadel of Endymion while it's in the spell and trap zone. Okay. You can only activate this card once per turn, by the way. Each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card when that card resolves. So negates do not let you get spell counters, which is nice, at least a little bit. Once per turn, if a spellcaster monster you control is destroyed by battle, after damage calculation, you can remove 6 spell counters from your side of the field to special summon one level 7 or higher spellcaster monster from your hand or deck. It's searchable, but your monster has to be destroyed by battle, so... and it doesn't say by your opponent's attack, so that's like a little better, but I don't like cards that rely on especially the battle phase and destruction like that are never too reliable. A lot of people like to just out stuff before they even go into the battle phase, so and plus if you have this up, they're just not going to destroy you that way. So I don't really like this card specifically. Maybe people will play it to be cheeky, you know, attack into stuff and then get a free special summon of a boss monster, but nothing crazy. And then the last spell we have here is Guidance of Spell Salvation. So this actually is not an Endymion card, but that's nice to see. You can only activate this card once per turn. Good. Target one spellcaster effect monster in your graveyard and add that monster to your hand. It's not bad, but it's not a starter card, and usually pendulum decks are all about just starting strong and setting up an unbeatable board. Huh. All right, well, clearly, okay, so I think these first 4 cards are like pretty freaking nuts. Combine that with like the main guy, the actual like this guy right here that we got announced a little while ago, and we've got a pretty tight setup for a little. Even if this is all we get, straight up, I think this mixed with like the Mythical Beast engine, maybe what's the one? There's like the level 4 monster that's like a pendulum monster, and she does. Like, if she has 3 counters on her, you can remove them to, like, add any spell from deck to hand or something. She's pretty good. She works in here. And plus then throw in the Pendulum Magician stuff. And you may already have in the turbo cards, like, you know, like Curtain Raiser and Dark Worm and stuff. And you may straight up already have, like, a pretty dirty deck. I'm curious what the extra deck would look for this, because there's not a lot of same level monsters, I don't think. Right? Well, 3 and 3, but... She's wind, he's not. Oh, that'd be interesting. If he was wind too, you could just straight up make a Totem Bird pretty dirty. I'm really curious to see what this deck looks like. It's definitely going to be too combo-y for me, but I love Spellcasters. I think it's been a minute. I mean, Pendulum Magicians, I guess, but we haven't really seen a ton of Pendulum decks, or not Pendulum, Spellcaster decks really rise to power, and this may be the first time spell counters are really like the top situation in the game, but... we've already seen Pendulum Magicians be pretty successful as of late, and I just think this is only going to help that. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know how busted you think these cards are going to be, because they look pretty insane. But I'm going to end it off here. I don't want this video to get too long. It's just a little news video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh news from me in the future times around the business. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.